Hi, welcome to Great State. Today I want to talk to you about something that I think is a really important topic, and that is reducing the stigma around mental health. There's a great stigma around mental health and mental health treatment in our society, and unfortunately that stigma is preventing people from getting the care they need. I think that reducing the stigma is very important if we want to help those around us. And it's especially important if you are in a position of leadership. I've been in the military for 18 years and mental health is very important to me. And I believe it's also very important for the people around me in whatever unit that I'm in. And so anytime I get a chance to talk to soldiers about mental health, it's something that I think is really important to do. I want people to know that they can get care and that it's okay. If I broke my arm, I would go to the hospital, I'd get it set, I'd get a cast. People would sign my cast. I'd talk about the silly story about how I tried to jump over something because I wanted to be cool and I fell and I broke the arm. I'd probably post selfies from the hospital as that was getting done, and I would talk about it on Facebook. I would comment on my recovery. And then a year later, when those photos resurface, I might repost them, or I might tell the story about that time that I did something silly and I broke my arm or I sprained my ankle. I would talk to other people about their experiences with their own injuries that they had. And we'd talk about how, oh yeah, I sprained my ankle once too, or I broke this bone once too. And we could laugh about it over a beer at the bar when we were hanging out and talking. It's just so normal to talk about things like that, and it's not strange. But if I was at a dinner party and I turned around to somebody and said, oh yeah, I'm suffering from depression and I'm going to see a therapist, there would be a record scratch. Everybody would stop, or everybody would get uncomfortable, and suddenly people wouldn't know how to talk about that because we just don't. We hide those things away, and it's that hiding that is preventing people from going out and getting the help they need or making them feel alone. It's that loneliness that is harmful for people and leads them down a dark path sometimes to make them feel hopeless and helpless. And it's that hopelessness and helplessness that ultimately can lead people to have thoughts of suicide and self-harm. So I want to give you some advice or some tips on ways that we can reduce the stigma about mental health for those around us and those that we love. And these things are especially true if you're in a position of leadership, because people look to you as an example. I believe in talking about mental health and mental health treatment openly and honestly. Talking about resources that are available for you, for people in your organization, right? Don't make it something that we don't talk about. Make it part of conversation. The more we normalize it, the more people will feel comfortable in having those conversations. I believe we should normalize going to a therapist. We talk about, oh, I have a physical that I have to go do every year, or I go get my flu shot, or I go get my oil changed in my car, right? All these things are those normal topics of conversation. Normalizing going to a therapist is fantastic, right? I believe that everyone should go get seen by a therapist occasionally, just to, check and make sure everything's okay, right? Occasionally our check engine light comes on. You want to go and, get the oil change, kick the tires, rotate them, and go on, right? I think normalizing that will help people realize that it's okay to talk about and it's okay to go do. Also, if you talk about it, someone might have questions and they might say, hey, where are you going to therapy? I've been thinking about going to see someone myself. And then you're able to provide them with resources so they can go get help if they need it. If you're in a position of leadership, if you're in a position of influence, you have a platform. Using that platform can get information out to a large amount of people at once. And I believe it's a responsibility of good leaders to use that platform to influence their organization in positive ways. And this is one of those ways. You never know if you're talking about going to seek mental health treatment or the resources that are available and making it okay to go utilize those resources might impact one person in your organization. You may never know that that one person was having a hard time with something, and then through your actions of normalizing getting help, went out and got the help that they needed themselves. Have empathy for other people's journey. What might be an anthill for you may be some other person's mountain. And you want to validate people and their feelings. And just because they're struggling doesn't make them weak. What makes them strong is reaching out for help. What makes them strong is the ability to get up and persevere through whatever it is that's going on in their lives. And what may be something that you look at and think is minor may be a very big deal for that person. If we foster a culture where it's okay to ask for help, where that's a sign of strength, then more people will ask for help. I believe this is especially true for men who seem to think that it is a sign of weakness to ask for help or to go to therapy or to say that they need something. It's okay. Men, it is okay to ask for help. It is okay to go to therapy. It's okay to tell other people that you've struggled sometimes and that you needed a hand up. If you find out about someone else's struggle or someone else's journey that they're going through, don't shame them. Don't make them feel strange. You don't need to suddenly walk around on eggshells around someone if they told you that they were suffering from depression and went to go talk to a therapist. You don't need to treat someone differently if they tell you that they were having some issues in their marriage and they went to see a relationships counselor. They're the same person they were before. They just chose you of their friends to share that with. You should be honored that they let you in on their personal journey and wanted you to know what was going on with them. You're part of their support network. I encourage you to not joke about mental illness. So often people crack jokes and they mean them to be well-intentioned and in good fun, but you don't know who your audience is. You don't know if that person next to you while you're cracking jokes is actually suffering through the thing that you're joking about. And now you're belittling them. You're making them less likely to talk to you about a problem if that is something that they were thinking about doing. You may make them think that they're weak or that they're unsafe to express what's going on in their lives or go get treatment. What if you find out that they go get treatment? Are you now part of that joke too? So be aware, language is powerful and the way you use it is powerful. Choose your words very carefully. Lastly, I encourage you to educate yourself. Find out about the resources in your area that might be available for people so that you can become someone knowledgeable about that. Find out a little bit more about some of the things that are commonly afflicting people. Learn about depression, learn about anxiety, learn about suicide and how you can spot warning signs in other people and be a person who can be a caretaker of those around you, especially if you're in a position of leadership, especially if you have a platform where people are paying attention to you. Thank you for watching the video. This topic is important to me. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you like the content, please like, please subscribe, and if you can, consider supporting me on Patreon so I can continue to make high quality videos, improve their quality, and continue to offer therapy for those people who need it most. Thank you so much, and welcome to the Great State community.